Hi, my name's Larry, and I'm here to talk to you today again about how I lived with stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer. And tonight we're on the staying healthy physical section, but it's specifically about diet today. And I have a little disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not medical at all. This is just what I do or try to do, imperfectly follow a diet. And very imperfectly sometimes. I had a sticky one today. Anyway, first I want to share with you something I just, in my research for today's talk, I ran across a statement from the American Cancer Society done in 2017, and of course it started out them mentioning that the primary cause of death in men of a certain age is still heart attacks. Cancer is second. And it says that the statement was that American Cancer Society in 2017 said that 45% of the cancer deaths could be avoided by avoiding or limiting these things. And one of them was cigarette smoking, secondary smoke, excess body weight, so that has something to do with a diet. Drinking alcohol, I'd call that part of a diet, or not drinking it. Actually, what they recommended was 1 or 2 drinks a day was okay. Eating red and processed meats was bad. You should avoid that. You should avoid UV radiation, so stay out of the sun. And infections. And I think that goes without saying. And what the American Cancer Society recommended that you have more of in your life is fruits and vegetables, dietary fiber, dietary calcium, and physical activity. And then it went on to say that what is particularly bad for your heart disease is saturated and trans fats, cholesterol, salt, sugar, specifically added sugar, or as they find it in candy and other things, and processed or red meat. You know, fish is what we should be eating, they said. And then it went on to say that in particular for lethal prostate cancer, that I should avoid whole milk, which is interesting because I'm taking drugs that remove calcium from my body, so I have to find it somewhere else, evidently. They also mentioned that cooked tomatoes are good, especially cooked in olive oil, and cruciferous vegetables are really good for you. That cruciferous vegetables include things like cabbage, um, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, collard greens, arugula, bok choy. And now I have hypothyroidism in addition to having cancer, and I believe it was caused by Erlita, but it says don't eat too many cruciferous vegetables if you have hypothyroidism. So I have another conflict there, and I still need to get calcium. Cruciferous vegetables are a really good source of calcium, so I have another problem set up for me there. Anyway, here's a diet that I try to follow, like I said, very imperfectly. I'm just going to start naming foods. Here's the bad part, the bad section. Number one, with the drug Erlita, which is apalutamide, I cannot eat grapefruit. And that's just in my particular case. If you're taking Erlita, don't eat grapefruit. It says that right on the instructions that I got with the Erlita. That's how I know that. Okay, added sugar in your food is not good. So things like high fructose corn syrup that you see in everything, that's not good. That's added sugar. Bacon, boo-hoo, I love bacon. I can't have that. Beef in particular, and we could argue about lean beef, but I just try to stay away from beef in general most of the time. Butter, I love butter. Cakes and cookies, again, the added sugar, it's no good. Which means I can't have Cheerios, and I love Cheerios. So I wrote Cheerios in the bad section just to remind me not to buy them. Dairy products, donuts, hot dogs, pies, pork, processed cooking oils, any processed foods. You know, we're told to shop around the aisles of a store. What they mean by that is all the healthy foods are usually around the outer walls. So the produce section, where they have the dairy and yogurt, things like that, the milk, the eggs, those are usually all around the outer walls. And the center is where they have all the processed foods. Anything in boxes or cans is not good for you because of all those preservatives they put in there. Red meat, again, just to remind us on that one. Refine the grains, and then processed meat like salami, sausage, you know, the things that everybody loves. That's in the bad section. Okay, so that's the short list of bad. Now we're going to go on to the good, and as I go through the good items, I'm going to highlight the some items that are like in the top 20 of really good things, and we're starting off with one of those, and that's almonds. Um, Very good for you. Apples, that's another one in the top 20 that has really good antioxidant effects. Asparagus. Avocados is also one in the top 20. Avocados are a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. And beets, which I don't particularly care for, but they're in the top 20 items. Bananas, blackberries, bell peppers, I love those. They're in the top 20. Blueberries are in the top 20. Again, they have a lot of antioxidants. Bok choy, I've recently been eating some of that. It's good. Broccoli, that's in the top 20, one of my favorites. And Brussels sprouts also there in the top 20 and one of my favorites. Cabbage, cantaloupes, carrots, cauliflower, chamomile tea, I could take that or leave it. Eggs, well, first cherries, if I want to go alphabetically. And then eggs, I love eggs. Eggplant, I could take that or leave it. Now fish, as a general category, there's two really good kinds of fish here. Wild salmon, another source of omega-3 fatty acids. And halibut is a very good fish. Sardines, trout, and tuna, also very good. Let's see. Flaxseed. Now, flaxseed, I read something about flaxseed the other day. It said that flaxseed can reduce the testosterone in your body. So I'm already taking drugs to do that, so flaxseed would help. Garlic is in the top 20. Garlic is very good. It's an immune system booster, and it helps with inflammation. And ginger root, ginger, that's in the top 20 of very healthy items. Green tea is supposed to be very good for you. Honeydew melons. Kale is in the top 20 of very healthy vegetables to eat. Kiwi fruit, leeks, not particularly fond of leeks. Beans and legumes, those are in the top 20 items. A lot of good, really good source of protein, among other things. Lemons and limes, mangoes. I don't think I've eaten 20 mangoes in my whole life. Then mushrooms, especially Asian mushrooms like reishi mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and maitakes. I don't even know what they look like. Those are supposed to be very good for you to boost your immune system. Nutmeg, different kinds of nuts. Oatmeal is in the top 20, one of my favorites, especially steel cut is supposed to be very good for you. Olive oil, onions, oranges, really any organic fruits and vegetables, if you can buy those. I know they cost more, but if they're organic, it's supposed to not have any the poisons that farmers put in them to make them grow better. Papaya is another item I don't think I've ever had anything except in juice. Parsley. Poultry is in the top 20 of good items for us, for me. Pineapples, I just had a fresh pineapple today, cut it up, very good. Raspberries, that's in the top 20 also. And red grapes. Rice, whole grain rice is very good for you. Sauerkraut, soybeans. Spinach is one of the top 20 items, and I happen to love spinach. Strawberries, sweet corn, sweet peas, sweet potatoes is in the top 20 items as being just super healthy. Now, tomatoes are interesting. You would think that raw tomatoes were better. I've always thought that. But they claim, I've read recently, that if you cook them in olive oil, it actually transforms the tomato somehow to makes it better for you than raw tomatoes. Go figure. Turmeric, if I'm saying that right, that's the yellow thing you see in mustard, and I have a little box of that. I sprinkle on things like eggs in soup. You can use it a lot of places. That's really good for arthritis. If you have arthritis in your hands, that really has a good effect to counteract if you have, not very severe arthritis. Watermelon and any whole plant-based foods are really good for you. And yams, like sweet potatoes again. I forgot Swiss chard to mention that earlier. I wrote that in here on the list. I don't eat that much, but it's in the regular grocery store. So that's it. That's really all I have to say on diet. Except that I have talked to doctors a couple times about if they could recommend a specific diet for metastatic prostate cancer people, for me. Could they recommend me a diet? And they just say, would you like to see a nutritionist here at the Geisinger? And I may take them up on that, because I'll tell you, I've researched this myself, and not being a medical person or having any nutritional real background, you can find anything you want on the internet. But I think I've got a reasonable take here on what's healthy and what's not healthy. Like I said, I may take them up on that nutritionist, just to see what they'll say. As always, if you have stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer, or you have a loved one, a man who has stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer, I encourage you to stay in the game. Do not get discouraged. Have fun. Have fun every day. Enjoy salmon, halibut, Brussels sprouts. And as always, peace be with you.